Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsay's Little Library. So today I am trying to be creative with some videos because I still don't have access to the books in the library, which is fine. It's just, kitchen is still a mess. We're making progress though. So I've actually been wanting to do this video for a while and I always come up with other ideas, and so we're gonna resurface this one. So I wanted to talk about some new releases that are coming out that I am so excited about. I feel like there's just a plethora of amazing books that are getting released, and as much as I love reading my backlist, I, true book nerd, get really excited for the new ones as well. So because this has been kind of work in progress for a little bit, a couple of these books are out and released, but the rest of them are going to be available in May. So I'll have links to them below if you want to check them out. The first one I want to talk about is The Lost Book of Eleanor Dare by Kimberly Brock. This came out in March, and I'm beyond excited about it. First of all, the cover is gorgeous. And it is historical fiction based on actual events, alternating between the story of a war widow and her search for her identity and the excerpts from a book called Eleanor Dare's Commonplace Book. Okay, so there's the lost colony of Roanoke, and it remains a mystery. Nobody really knows exactly what happened to it, but the women who descended from Eleanor Dare have long known that the truth lies in what she left behind. So there's a message carved into a large stone, and there's contents in her commonplace book that kind of explains the history. And this book gets passed down from woman to woman to woman throughout the family. Alice is supposed to get it when she turns 13, but her mother unexpectedly dies in a tragic accident, and she never is given the book. It doesn't happen. But she kind of moves on, she grows up. And so in the beginning days of World War II, Alice is a young widow and she has a daughter. And so she's trying to kind of pick herself up from that. And very unexpectedly, she finds out that she has now been given the deed to Evertell, and it's her family's abandoned home in Savannah. So she goes there to kind of get rid of it, deal with it, move on so she can move on. I don't even know. So she gets there, she's trying to do her thing, and her daughter, Penn, is super curious about her family lineage, and she starts kind of snooping around and checking things out and uncovering some stuff from the past, including Eleanor's book, which is finally found. So Alice is now forced to deal with the sacrifices that are made for love and the realities of her true inheritance as daughters of Eleanor Dare. So super excited about that. And it's already out, and I want to say I have it on my Neckgalley shelf, but I should double check that. But anyways, another book that's already out is Bluebird by Genevieve Graham. This came out the beginning of April, so April 5th. So dual timelines again, because I'm a sucker for them. So we have present day. We have Cassie Simmons. She's a museum curator and loves to solve those mysteries of the past, which seems to be a theme with museum curators. I'm reading Surviving Savannah right now, which has a curator, and she's all about digging into the past. It totally makes sense. She has her own personal interest in the history of the Runners, who would move illegal booze across the Detroit River during Prohibition. The reason I'm drawn into this is because I have a relative who made moonshine during the Prohibition and got caught. But I don't know. It's interesting to me. So when a bunch of whiskey labeled Bailey Brothers Best is unearthed during a local home renovation, Cassie hopes to find the answers she's been searching for about the legendary family of bootleggers. So that's your present day. The past is taking place in 1918. We have Corporal Jeremiah Bailey of the 1st Canadian Tunneling Company, and he's tasked with planting mines in the tunnels beneath enemy trenches. After Jerry's badly wounded in an explosion, he finds himself in a Belgium field hospital under the care of Adele, one of Canada's nursing sisters, nicknamed Bluebirds for their blue gowns and their caps. As Jerry recovers, he forms a connection with Adele, who's from a place near his hometown in Windsor along the Detroit River. In the midst of war, she is a welcome reminder of home, and when Jerry is sent back to the front, he can only hope that he'll see his Bluebird again. But when the war ends, Jerry and Adele return home, scarred by the horrors of what they endured overseas. When they cross paths one day, they have a chance to start over, but the city is in the grip of Prohibition. which brings exciting opportunities as well as dangerous conflicts that threaten and destroy everything that they fought for. Pulled from the pages of history. It's fantastic. So I'm excited for those two. I don't know how I haven't bought them yet. I probably should. All right, here's the new ones that are coming out. One is coming out really, really soon, May 3rd, and I'm so excited about this one. It's called The Bookwomans Daughter by Kim Michelle Richardson. And so this is the sequel to The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek, which I read last year, I believe. A historical fiction that follows a couple of really cool historical timelines. So we have the main character in that book, Cussie, is her family is one of the Blue families, and so she has a blue appearance to her. And she becomes a traveling bookwoman. So she has library books that she puts on the back of a horse, and she goes riding out into the outskirts of town and borrows books. And it was a really, really great book. I enjoyed it. So this is the sequel to that. And we're following Cussie's daughter, Honey, as she kind of takes over her mom's library route. So I'm excited to see kind of where Cussie ended up and what goes from here. So that comes out May 3rd. The next one I'm really excited about is The Lioness by Chris Bohalian, and it comes out May 10th. A little historical fiction, a little bit, I don't know, adventure, suspense, whatever you want to call it. So we have 1964, and Kate Barstow, who's an A-list actress in Hollywood, has just gotten married to David Hill, and for their honeymoon, they're going to go to Tanzania, and they're going to bring some Hollywood friends with them. They're going to go to Serengeti, and they're going to watch wildlife and feed zebras and drink cocktails and have this really, really fantastic, sophisticated honeymoon. And let's just say that doesn't happen. So what happens instead is a kidnapping gone wrong, their guides bleeding out in the dirt, and a team of Russian mercenaries herding their hostages into Land Rovers with guns to their heads. As the powerful sun gives way to night, the gunmen shove them into abandoned huts, and Kate prays for a simple thing: to see the sunrise one more time. It's a story of fame, race, love, and death set in a world on the cusp of great change. Right? Sounds fantastic. Next one I want to talk about, book about books. Can't wait. It's Bloomsbury Girls by Natalie Jenner. It comes out May 17th. So this one is post-war London. We have a central bookstore that has survived everything, and it's called Bloomsbury Books. It's very old-fashioned and has always been run by men and guided by general managers' unbreakable 51 rules. But in 1950, the world is changing, especially the world of books and publishing, and Bloomsbury Books, the girls in the shop that work there, have these plans. So we have Vivian. She's single since her aristocratic fiance was killed in action during the war. Brilliant and stylish, she has a long list of grievances, most of them well justified, and the biggest of which is Alec McDonough, the head of fiction at the bookstore. We have Grace, who's married. She has 2 sons. She's been working to support the family following her husband's breakdown after the war, and torn between duty to her family and dreams of her own. And then we have Evie, first class of female students from Cambridge permitted to earn a degree. Evie was denied an academic position in favor of her less accomplished male rival, and now she's working at the bookstore while she plans to remake her own future. As they interact with various literary figures of the time, these 3 women will, with their complex web of relationships, goals, and dreams, are all working on a plot to plot out a future that is richer and more rewarding than anything society will allow. So I'm liking the post-World War II, like that it takes place in a bookstore. I'm excited to read that book too. Next one I have sounds so creepy. It is called Hide by Kirsten White. It comes out May 24th. Oh my gosh. High stakes hide and seek competition turns deadly. So we have the challenge is to spend a week hiding in an abandoned amusement park and don't get caught. Okay. The prize is enough money to change everything. So even though everyone is desperate to win, to seize a dream future or escape a haunting past, Mac is sure she can beat her competitors. All she has to do is hide, and she's an expert at that. It's the reason she's alive and her family isn't. So I'm very interested in that storyline. But as the people around her begin disappearing one by one, Mac realizes that this competition is even more sinister than she imagined, and that together might be the only way to survive. 14 competitors, 7 days, everywhere to hide but nowhere to run. Come out, wherever you are. Oh, Like, oh my gosh, it sounds so incredible. So incredible. So those are the books I'm excited for. What do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 books, something like that. You know, enough. But a couple of them are out, and a few of them are coming out in May. I'm beyond excited about every single one of them. I want to read them right now. But anyways, let me know if any of them have crossed your radar, if they sound interesting to you, or if you were lucky enough to get an advanced reader's copy of them. Or what books you're excited about, because I don't know all of them. So please share in the comments below. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.